Joining us now with reaction, the author of a brand new book just out today. It's called Understanding Trump, the former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Mr. Speaker, great to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, do you see what I just said? 5 forces at work destroying the president, and that this is a clear present danger for the country?
Well, look, I think we're in a clear-cut cultural civil war. I think that there are a number of Republicans who don't get it. I would start with the very beginning of your monologue, and I wish every Republican would look at the lesson that the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, gave them today. He was passionate. He used strong language. He didn't back down. He had the facts, and he was prepared to go nose to nose with liberals every time they smeared him. And I think he clearly won because he was willing to be even more judgmental and more emotional and more committed than were the Democrats. Now, if every Republican learned that, and let me take the example of Attorney General Lynch. It's been, I think, a week since the Democratic ranking member of the Intelligence Committee, Senator Feinstein, said she thought that the Congress ought to look into whether or not Attorney General Lynch was in fact obstructing justice. Now, I can't understand a Republican Party which is offered on a platter by the ranking Democrat of the Intelligence Committee, a very senior respected member of the Senate, an opportunity to open up an investigation of the Democratic Attorney General, and I've heard nothing. And this is just typical. We allow the left to set the agenda. We allow the left to define the terms of the debate. We are passive. And I think that it's really a huge, huge mistake to not take these people head on.
Let me stay on Loretta Lynch while you're there, because I think this is important. By the way, I would agree Sessions eviscerated these Democrats today, and it should be an abject lesson for every Republican. That's how you fight. That's how you stand up for truth. And I don't see, look, I think there's so many weak Republicans. It is frankly embarrassing and pathetic on both the agenda, the getting work done in the Congress, and secondly, standing up for the things that they promised the American people. But back to Loretta Lynch. You have the tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton in a plane. Totally inappropriate, possible collusion, possible obstruction. Then it gets even worse than that. She gets James Comey to take the word investigation and turn it into a matter. Later, Sarah Carter, as I was explaining in the opening monologue, that James Comey confronts her, that she had put the kibosh on any possible indictment, regardless of where the evidence led, and gave him a steely, silent look, and then said, anything else? And that, to me, if she doesn't get brought before a committee and investigated, we don't have justice in this country.
Let's go back to your very first point. How can you have a Republican House and a Republican Senate and not bring in the Attorney General and the former president under oath and get each of them to describe what they were discussing? I mean, I think this was, in terms of why people are sick of Washington, the idea that they happen to be at the same airport. That this is, remember, 4 or 5 days before they're going to interview Secretary Clinton, which they did, by the way, not under oath. I mean, you go through this whole thing, and it's no wonder the average American is disgusted. As you know, I was just out at Ridgewood, New Jersey tonight with my new book, Understanding Trump, and had hundreds of people there. And the number of them who get everything you just said tonight and cannot understand why the Republicans are not standing up and fighting, I think was startling to me how intense it is, how rapidly it's spreading, for example, that Mueller, there are actually 4 people he's hired who donated to the Democrats. One of them worked for the Clinton Foundation. One of them, by the way,